welcome back. Lord of the Rings spoiler season has just about wrapped up, and with the new set, we also have a new channel name, new logo, new intro, new face cam. If this isn't your first time here, I hope you're liking the changes we've made. Thank you so much for having been with us. And if you're new, welcome to Jankdown. Our swords are already plowshares. Or something. I'll come up with a better catchphrase. Anyway, I hope you could hit the subscribe, the like. It really helps the channel out. It's free. And with all that out of the way, let's get to our commander. Shelob, Child of Ungoliant. She's a 6-mana value 8/8 spider demon with Death Touch and Ward 2. And she's also a spider lord in that she gives all of our other spiders Death Touch and Ward 2 as well. And finally, whenever another creature dealt damage this turn by a spider we control dies, we create a food token copy of the creature, except it's now a food artifact, and it loses all other card types. So first off, Spider Lord is awesome. We'll get into that later. But more flavorfully, our spiders turn other dead creatures into food. They lose their other card types, meaning they aren't creatures anymore, but they do keep their name, their mana value, and all of that. Remember though that Legendary is a super type, so as cool as it would be to steal someone's Elish Norn, reanimate her, kill her again, do that over and over so we get like this infinite anthem effect, you will legend rule yourself. So just keep that in mind. The deck we're brewing today is called Spider Chef. I'll go over specific themes of ramp, removal, and draw, but after we'll go over themes of all defense, sting, recursion, and something we like to call UBP or utilities, balance, and pets. Alright, so we have access to green, so on top of the 37 lands, we're still running Soul Ring. Because I mean, why not? It's just too good and it's available everywhere. However, green gives us great ramp options, and a new one I like is Delighted Halfling. It's a 1-drop mana dork with upside, for some reason, but it's good for getting our commander through the stack. After that, Rampant Growth, Farseek, Cultivate, nothing you haven't seen here, and they're just honest to goodness staples. Entish Restoration and Springbloom Druid read similarly, and I like the Restoration because it's new, and it's essentially Harrow with upside. But I also like Springbloom Druid because it's a creature, meaning we can get the ability, have it killed by a spider, and then comes back as a food, and the ability triggers again. Burnish Heart is also a creature, and same idea. While we hope to sacrifice it early, we can fight it with our own creatures, it dies, comes back as food, and it'll keep its ability to sacrifice and go get us some more lands. Another creature is Vorinclex. It fetches forests to our hand to make sure we hit our land drops, and plus if we get to 8 mana, it's ridiculous. We distribute 7 counters, then we get a giant fight spell, and with Shelob out, we can start mowing down the board and turning them all into food. Lastly, Ashnod's Altar. We can run some tokens, sure, as a way to get Shelob out early if we need to, but it is 1/3 of an infinite combo we're running. And combos, I mean, not gonna lie, we're a little dirtly, so having an infinite in our back pocket is just a good way to close out the game. For removal, we have a good set of wipes and targeted removal, and Golgari can remove anything. Assassin's Trophy and Beast Within are terrific choices for flexible spot removal, while Toxic Deluge and Crippling Fear are flexible wipes. I like that it gives -X/-X because it gets around indestructible. Next are a trio of spiders that act as removal. One lashes with Silk, one spits, and the last one fishes in the sky. With Shelob giving Death Touch, Silk Lash, and Spitting Spider are essentially like a board wipe of everything in the sky. And Skyfish is just flexible. Lastly, we're running Vraska Betrayal Sting. Yeah, this is gonna be a sub-theme of our deck. We're running a bit of a Super Friends theme. Spiders don't have much of an offense, but they are hard to get through. So the Planeswalkers we're gonna be running here bring value, but they'll also have game-ending ultimates, because honestly, it might be in the cards. Vraska gets around indestructible by turning other creatures into artifacts, and her ultimate brings someone to 9 poison, meaning they're just 1 proliferate away from getting eliminated. Shelob has no built-in card advantage, so we want to make sure we have ways to get through a lot of our cards. Black Market Connections and the One Ring are a steady incremental value, with Black Market Connections even giving us a spider if we choose to pay 3 life. And remember, our spiders can make food, so the incidental life gain available to us should hopefully mitigate the major downsides. Realmwalker is another spider, and the Future Sight tacked onto this card lets us plan ahead or play spiders off the top. Peregrine Took is a new card that goes well with our little food creation engine. And something to keep in mind, Pippin makes food whenever we create any token. Meaning, even if we create a spider token, right, it'll still come with food. Going into our sub-theme, a couple of walkers are Obnix and Lolth. Obnix's ultimate is a game ender, and Lolth is a spider queen. She draws, she makes tokens, and her ultimate can also help us close out games. We do want more than just a steady stream of card flow though, and Last March of the Ants and Stinging Study are a pair of burst draw spells that can quickly refill our hands. Lastly, a couple of tutors. Now, I rarely run tutors, but I feel like this deck needs them. Sure, if we need to find our combo piece, that'd be great, but tutors are flexible enough to get us a removal spell if we need them, or a creature if our board is empty, or a fight spell if all we have are just death touchers. I run Liliana because, again, her ultimate can be a game ender, but for demonic tutor, I mean, it's best in its class. Now, if you don't have one, there are budget options that you can go with. Dark Petition, Grim Tutor, Diabolic Tutor, all these work great, and I suggest running a couple of tutors. We've been talking about Planeswalkers, getting them to ultimate, but let's bring in the all-defensive team to see who is actually protecting our face and our walkers. The Recluse Spiders have reach and death touch, and players hate making unprofitable trades, so they'll keep our face and walkers safe. Chainweb, Arachneer, and Sporecap Spider are just low mana value defenders that can come down early to come off the board. I went with these next 3 spiders because they can all bring extra bodies with them. They create tokens in some type of way. It's a good way to get a bigger board sooner. But we also run Ishkana and Arasta as ways to quickly expand our board. Now, Ishkana is the second piece to our 3-piece combo, and maybe you've already figured out what we're trying to assemble, but in case you haven't, don't worry, I'll cover that later. Lastly, I included some utility spiders. I like Copper Longleg's ability to proliferate, which just synergizes with our Walker sub-theme. Watcher in the Web is just a giant wall. And Sweet Glum Recluse has Cascade, which is pretty cool, but it can also pump itself if we need to. Then we can kill it and then turn it into food and pump something else up. To make other creatures into food though, our spiders are gonna need a bit of a sting. Ulvenwald Tracker is a repeatable fight effect, and Smell Fear is a fight spell with Proliferate tacked onto it, but fighting can kill our own spiders. So Thornbite Staff and Viridian Longbow are ways that allow us to outright damage creatures with our spiders. Thornbite Staff's untapped claws can get pretty nutty too, not gonna lie. Beyond equipment, Predatory Urge and Vivian are other ways for our spiders to spit without taking any damage back. Now, Vivian doesn't have a game-ending ultimate, but her -5 is a good way in case an important piece gets exiled, like maybe our Ishkana or something. Realistically, we won't get that many chances with Shelob. So, Cetessan Tactics and Spinning Wheel Kick are multi-target fight spells that allow us to kill multiple things in one go. Plus, spiders have 8 legs, so the Spinning Wheel Kick, that's just flavor. Recursion is a way to make our deck more resilient to things like wipes or unprofitable blocks that we're sometimes just forced to do. So we run a couple of creature-focused reanimation spells in Phyrexian Reclamation and Living Death. But a lot of the key pieces in our decks aren't the creatures themselves. So Skullwinder, Ewit, and Unnatural Restoration all let us bring back any card, or in the case of Unnatural Restoration, any permanent. While Invasion of Chandalar gets us back 3 permanents, and this one is a battle, which I like, because our spiders don't really have the most power. So dealing 4 to the battle might actually be more profitable for us than dealing 4 damage to an opponent's face. And if we do, we get Leyline Surge, which is essentially 1 free permanent per turn, including lands. Lastly, one of the coolest uncommons in the Lord of the Rings set is Rise of the Witch King. It's an edict effect, and this allows us to return any permanent from our graveyard to the battlefield. UBP time! Shelob is a spider lord, so we want to have spiders. And these are 3 terrific token producers. Curse of Clinging Webs is some type of graveyard hate, while Spawning is one that can get us 3 or more spiders onto the battlefield immediately, or help us recover post-wipe. Arachnogenesis is Spider Fog, and that's really cool, but it's also really expensive, price-wise. If you don't have this or you don't want to invest in one, that's fine. We can also run Obscuring Haze as an alternate. We still get the fog, we still get the combat trick of, being able to block one of our opponent's best creatures, but we just don't get the tokens. With spiders in play, we can go with a beatdown plan. Assault Formation gives our big butt some juice, while Nissa is just a walker that's just hard to go wrong with. She creates big creatures, she removes artifacts or enchantments, and she creates her hoofs with her ultimate. Shadow Spear is a good utility piece to get rid of annoying indestructible effects, which will hose her Death Touch, Fight, or Ping tricks. And being able to equip with Trample is nice when you have an 8/8 Death Touch as a commander. Last card in our deck is Nim Deathmantle. While it's fine using it as an expensive pseudo-reanimation spell, it combos with Ashnod's Altar and Ishkana. How it works is Ishkana comes into play and brings with her 3 bodies. So we sacrifice Ishkana to Ashnod's Altar plus another body, and the Deathmantle triggers after it sees Ishkana die. With the 4 floating mana, we bring Ishkana back, and this creates 3 more bodies. So essentially, we've net 2 spiders in that 1 interaction. We rinse and repeat, and now we have infinite spiders, or infinite colorless mana, if that's what we need. And that's it for this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the brew and also some of the channel changes that we're making. If you want to support the channel, a like, a share, and subscribe would go a long way. I'm excited to do more Lord of the Rings brews. I think the set's great, it's flavorful, it's got the right amount of power, and I got a couple of videos lined up. But until then, stay inspired, friends, and I'll see you next time.